Yesterday was a difficult day. I went to the funeral of a former client who I became friends with, in regards to his family. Nice young man with lots of potential, great family, a young man who I guess many would say was an adventurer, kind of lived life on the edge, and really had a bright future. Was taking science classes, had a desire to go into the medical field, probably a physician, had just taken a physics exam, midterm exam, and received the top score on it, 100%. And it was sad. It's depressing. You know, you get to know your clients. You get to know their personality. Sometimes you get to know their families. Sometimes they ultimately become friends. You know, this young man was in a motorcycle accident, and it's just a sad thing to see a young man, 22 years old, someone I knew, someone who had shared stories with, someone who I'd given advice to, someone who was going to do something with their life. And next thing you know, you're at a funeral and you're hugging family members and you're teared up. And you know, it's not just about the X's and O's, so to speak. It's not just about the law. It's not just about the money. It's not just about what goes on. But when these people come into my office, many of them come into my life. My job is to help them. My job is to be a big brother to them. My job is to give them advice. My job is to help them when they're struggling. You can do your job. You can act as a friend. Unfortunately, things happen. No one knows why, when. Death is inevitable. The last 3 days been in somewhat of a fog, knowing that a young man with so much potential died young, quick, and it's just sad. You know, we have these things in our lives, you know, we call them problems, and problems in the long scheme of things are up and down. It's really a problem of a moment. You know, it's something that you're facing in that moment, but it's like a long timeline of life. From, you know, call it 0 to 100. You know, if you get a DUI, you know, we're talking a few months of your life, maybe a year, maybe a year and a half, but it passes. Win, lose, or draw. If it's a drug charge, again, somewhere between, you know, it could be anywhere from a couple of months to a year and a half. Yes, as you have more crimes, as you have more situations in your life, but we determine, you know, the problems that we have. We determine by our choices. So I guess the purpose of this video, one is, you know, mourning for a client who became a friend, whose family became a friend. First I'm mourning, then I'm thinking about the relevance of what my job is in these people's lives that, you know, come to my office, come and go. You want to help, you want to counsel, you want to give advice, sometimes you want to preach. you want to help them and guide them in the right direction. Now, I've talked about before, sometimes the winning itself is enough. Sometimes you hope that that clients don't come back to you. Sometimes you're blessed to see that you help someone who then turn their life around. And then there's situations like this weekend where help someone, they've turned their life around, they're working on college and education and working on doing the right things, and dies in a motorcycle accident. That there's no words that can be shared. There's nothing that I could articulate that would allow anyone to understand the frustration of the situation. Life is short, folks. Do your best. Live life like it could end. The preacher said something about living life as if you're a traveler and you're visiting other locations. Right? When you're on vacation, you're happy, you're in a good mood, you're trying to do positive things. When you're a guest in someone's home, when you're a guest in another land, you tend to be on your best behavior because it's a pleasure trip, right? It's about that. Live your life in that manner. Treat other people with respect. Live life the way it should be lived, because we never know when it's going to end. Anyway, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley, and definitely a sad moment in my life, saying goodbye to a friend, a former client, and a young man with loads of potential and just a great family. I'm Roger P. Foley.